Hi, and thank you for listening. My name is Kathleen Compton. I am the board chair, and I'd like to speak to you a little bit about the changes at the school and the workings of the board. But before that, I want to say that the board looks very much forward to seeing you at Friday's Welcome Back cocktail, a highlight of our back to school activities. We are very glad it's taking place again. Unfortunately, I will not be there on Friday to join because I'm currently in the United States helping my parents, but I'll be back in Italy at the end of the month. I met my Italian husband at graduate school here in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania and moved to Florence in 1991. So I feel myself to be both an American and a Florentine, and I'm very happy to give back to the city through my work on the board. Morgan Fumey, the board's vice chair, and himself an alumnus of ISF, will be present to welcome you in person on Friday, as will the many other board members who will be there. Board members will also be present at the online meetings arranged for today with our head of school and senior leadership team. So now I'd like to expand on my email notices informing you about the changes in leadership at ISF and to assure you of the board's commitment to stability at the school, demonstrated by our engagement throughout the summer to ensure that ISF would be led by a well-qualified person possessing the right character for the moment to guide us successfully through a year where we welcome new teachers and new leadership, as well as steer the school through the final stages of the accreditation process. After narrowing our search to a short list of candidates, the board selected Dr. David Ottaviano for the job. David is a highly qualified professional with over 30 years experience as a head of school around the world and in the United States. The usual process for hiring a head involves all the stakeholders in our community, though the quick timeline and the fact that we needed to make the appointment over the summer months precluded recourse to this procedure. We are grateful that David was available to come in on short notice and to employ his many years of experience to help our school through this transition period. A search for a permanent head of school is already underway, and representatives from each part of our community, parents, students, teachers, staff, leadership, and the board have already had an opportunity to help frame the profile that will be posted for the search. Beyond these preliminary conversations, we will continue to involve the whole community as the search narrows. We hope to identify the right person before winter break. Right now, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the board and talk about our role at ISF. Currently, the board consists of 13 members: David Aspen, David Bach, Alessia Chang, Marco Fazzini, Morgan Fumey, Eric Goulder, Kristen Krebsdick, Ivan Mijatovic, Jacopo Monacinaldini, Paola Polidori, Silvia Quiroga, Maria Tinedo, and me. ISF continues to navigate a transitional time that began in 2017 under the chairmanship of Marco Uzzielli, when the board made a decision to renew its commitment to be a truly international IB school. Partly motivated by our aspirations for the school, and also by the knowledge that IB standards for accreditation had been heightened, we set our sights on an ambitious path that aimed to hold ISF to the highest international standards of education, and to renew our commitment to be an international school grounded in the IB learner profile. We conducted a search for a head of school who would guide us through a community-wide endeavor to write a new mission, vision, and strategic plan for the school. Through a search that involved the entire community, we selected Simon Murray, whose vision and experience led us through this process, as together we created what is widely considered in the world of international education, an exciting, innovative, and progressive set of guiding principles. The school's internal organization was fortified to enable us to meet our strategic goals and extended to include middle leadership and wellness. We launched a research program that brings parents and educators together to study and impact learning in the classroom, and we expanded the curriculum to include history of art, drama, and Florentine studies. The guiding principles set forth by the community continue to be our North Star as we have gone through the difficult time of the pandemic. We have brought our identity into clearer focus as we follow our motto, internationally minded, uniquely Florentine. We continue to pursue our ambitious goals for the school and to keep all that is wonderful about ISF while also seeking new sources of inspiration. We strive to use our location in Florence, its genealogy, to bridge what is universal in our values with what is specific to the beauty of this place and its extraordinary heritage, convinced that this connection will inspire each of us, but especially our students, to lead lives of meaning in a future whose contours are just beyond our reach. What follows is an outline of the nuts and bolts that lie behind these aspirations, an explanation of the board as an institution at this school, its role and how it operates. I bring this to you as a way to be more available, more transparent, so that we may build channels of communication between the board and the ISF community that will be durable, as they need to be for us to continue to change and move towards our goals. And so we will emerge stronger and better than before. I believe we can do this. So now on to the nuts and bolts of the board. ISF is a registered nonprofit in the state of Delaware in the United States, though the fact that we require tuition payments means we are not regarded as a nonprofit in Italy, and therefore we are required to pay taxes here. ISF has no owner or shareholders and is instead run by a self-perpetuating volunteer board, traditionally made up mostly of parents, but with a history of involving people from the Florence community too. The board currently is made up of 13 members who commit to a 4-year term. This term may be renewed one time, and it is possible to have an additional 2-year extension. Board members typically stay on the board for 2 terms. Currently, we have veteran members with over 5 years experience on the board, as well as newer members who joined less than 2 years ago. The commitment by board members is significant, as we bear a very real responsibility for the school's financial well-being and for the health of the learning environment for all staff and students. Board members give freely of their time and expertise and receive no benefit other than the knowledge that our work is important to the community. We consider it a privilege to work on the board. As a self-perpetuating board, we seek stability and look for people who are committed to the mission, vision, and strategic plan. In addition to looking to strike a balance between our skill sets and our perspectives, we aspire to provide a forum for members to debate how we will best achieve our strategic goals as we maintain a friendly and civil atmosphere, holding ourselves accountable, as are all members of the ISF community, to the values laid out in the IB Learner Profile. While we debate the how of our path, we are all in agreement with where we are going, and this serves to create a very unified and healthy atmosphere on the board. The board is responsible to create the policies of the school. Operations are left to the administration, which is led by the head, with whom we on the board work directly and who is our only employee. The board does not involve itself in the day-to-day running of the school, but relies on reports from the head and others in leadership to monitor the progress of the school towards our strategic goals and adherence to overall policies. We strive to keep channels of communication open with all stakeholders as we assure there are appropriate forums to hear from everyone. For our part, the board aims to be transparent and to communicate regularly with the community. We recognize the need to continue to improve as we strive to build trust through our work and our outreach. We are committed to this improvement. This year, the board will involve the community in evaluation of its work. Up until this time, we have conducted annual self-assessments but we are convinced it is important to bring in the other voices from the community to give us a full accounting of our performance. We will be conducting 2 surveys of our work at the start of the school year and at the end of the school year. We will be holding our usual fall, winter, and spring forums as a time for us to report to the full community and respond to questions. We look forward to opportunities to stay in touch with you that are respectful of the important divide between board work and school operations. We encourage everyone to learn the proper routes to follow to voice concerns and ask that everyone respect individual board members' inability to speak to specific concerns. The board functions as a unit, and no individual board member holds any special power to affect outcomes. It is hard sometimes, as board members are often fellow parents. But it is critical for the healthy functioning of the school that we allow the school to follow its normal processes without overstepping our bounds. The board is pleased to welcome you back to school after having taken what could have been a destabilizing moment in the life of the school, and instead putting in place people whom we encourage you to meet and get to know as we have done. We believe we have achieved our aim of opening the school year in a seamless way, focused on our children and their relationship with their teachers. This is where the heart of ISF lies. We are cautiously optimistic that school will remain open, knowing that if we must return to distance learning, we are prepared to support the learning and well-being of our community, students, teachers, staff, and parents. We look forward to the conclusion of the search for a junior school principal, a search that has involved all parts of the ISF community. We also appreciate the widespread involvement of parents, teachers, staff, and students as we set out to select a head of school for the 2022-23 school year and beyond. We are confident that the high quality and innovative nature of our guiding principles will continue to attract exceptional candidates from all over the world. We are perceived as a community dedicated to excellence in academics, and that sets itself apart for its progressive and innovative approach to thinking about education. We feel this reputation well reflects the values and genius of Florence, and we strive to hold ourselves to these high standards. We will be having a virtual accreditation visit from CIS and the IB in November, toward which much work has already been done. We are confident that our leadership will guide us through this process successfully. So now I wish you a very smooth return to school this year, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in person. Take care.